Recognition, man, this lady fires me up. When I think about, perfect combination of beauty and brains, I'm not going to say you got lucky, but you definitely scored, And it's people like this that really sell me the dreams. When I first started, it wasn't about just making the money, but with that money, having a great family lifestyle. And if you follow her on Instagram, man, she does it all. She's a true boss mama, right? She finds time to work out, do appointments, take care of her kids, do all the meetings. So without further ado, let's introduce Guillermo Haro.
Champion! He made $35,000 that month. It was the absolute first meeting that I went to. It was at the Santa Fe office, and I was standing in the back. It was packed. It was a Momentum Monday. It was called full-timers at that time. And I was like, man, if that guy can do it, making $35,000 a month wearing black shoes or brown shoes and a black belt, I could do it. So sometimes it happens. And he says, why do they have bigger rings than you, but you keep beating them? So he doesn't understand that they have bigger teams yet. So I said, well, I'm only beating in certain categories. They've been in the business longer, and they've promoted more SMDs. And he said, oh, you mean brokers? Business a little bit in my house. So it's all about getting the ring. And my son said, Dad, he called me Dad. He says, Dad, I'm going to be a champion, but can I have 2 jobs? And I said, sure, you can have 2 jobs. And I said, what do you want to do? He goes, well, I want to be a soccer player, and I want to do WFG. So understand, let them dream big, don't hold them back, and I'm going to let my son do whatever he wants to do. I'm going to try to build this code as big as possible, so my son has the best possibility to. The number 2 is you got to believe in the products, and number 3 is that you got to believe in yourself. So let's talk about believing in the company. You guys, World Financial Group, Transamerica, Aegon, publicly traded companies, top, Fortune 100 companies. Understand that, some of you guys are really new. Some of you guys, this might be your first meeting. You're like, well, should I do this? Am I with the right organization? Is this company for real? Are all these people, did JR really make $53,000 this month? Some of this stuff, coming into the first meeting, it kind of blows your mind. And you start doubting yourself. Well, let me tell you guys, Pacific Life, Nationwide, John Hancock, MetLife, Crump, Transamerica, all these companies already checked into it. They already figured it out that it is for real. We were talking to a guy from Nationwide, and he said, do you guys know that World Financial Group sold more nationwide. Bottom line, I mean, you know, you got to think about some of these things that happen. You think Peyton Manning's people, his attorneys and his legal counsel looked into, you know, him saying thank you nationwide and WFG before.
Hello, my name is Maria Gonzalez. I am from Eric Jamalina's Base Shop in Lakewood. Prior to the business, I got my bachelor's of architecture and did that for about 7 years. I worked at a geotechnical firm and an engineering firm. I'm a Mexican American and was born in the U.S. and came from a humble background. I did not come from money. My parents came from poor upbringing. I am also a woman of faith. I love teaching young people at my local church. I would like to thank Jesus Christ for making me top training associate and for this opportunity. Where I'm going with the business in the next 5 years. I want to be senior marketing director before convention 2018. I want a big shop as big as Penny Roy. I want to make the kind of money citizens. My mother cleans houses, she's a housekeeper, and my father is a landscaper. He is self-employed. I want to restore my parents' Victorian home. I want to be able to give my parents a $5,000 check from WFG monthly. My other why is I want to retire my husband. My husband does construction. He fixes the foundation of homes. How I got this opportunity is when my husband called me and passed the phone to his coworker at the time that recruited me. So I want to thank you and God bless you all.
My name is Eileen Wasson. I'm an IT network engineer by trade. I've been in IT for over 15 years, and yes, I don't look like a typical IT nerd or engineer, and that's okay. In fact, Guillermo, when he first met me, said, "You look like you should be selling furniture." And so that was and that's okay. This year, I was voted in December, and I was licensed in January. This year was my first convention, and one of the leaders that impacted me the most was Paul Hart. If you guys were there, you know that he took us to church, right? So I'm going to do that a little bit in a few minutes that I didn't have with you. You know, there was things, we're on a CEO run, right? No tenants, no exceptions, right? Number 2, being a flag carrier for Millie's Base Shop. And number 3, these points came from a trainee. So as a trainer, it's important to be 100% delivered to that person that you're sitting in front of, and also your trainee, yes? So yesterday in church, we were talking about things that are pressurized and things and the beauty that comes from things like that. If you think about diamonds that come from rocks or pearls that come from, you know, oysters, and then also, you know, gold and silver that come from fire. So my question to you is how do you handle pressure? It's hard to stay relevant in WFG, yes? Every month we're always trying to fight for number 1 and be relevant. But my question to you is, you know, next time you think about giving up, next time you get that no and say, I can't do it anymore, just remember that there is glory. There's the bigger the burden, the bigger the blessing at the end. And so one of the things is there's always glory at the end of your story, yes? And then I'll leave you with this. Stay humble in your hustle and blind in your fight, because we walk by faith and not by sight. God bless.
Came in the mail here, and we want to promote him, or actually we want to award him with his $100,000 ring on stage. So why don't you guys come on up, give it up for Eric Alvarez, and everyone go on really promoted $100,000 ring raise.
each other, and I heard from other ring earners that you're supposed to get an email, so we were kind of freaking out, like double checking. We actually hit 100,000, right? You know, and we haven't gotten an email, and so we've been calling WFG, you know, because that's kind of how we treat our business. If you submit business or you have something going on, you want to check on it. So I had no idea this was coming. The other thing I wanted to address is, you know, Phil mentioned, introduced me to a girl. Ladies, now you know he's single. There's a lot of women in this room. If you guys are single, talk to him after. He really is a great guy. We do share, you know, almost an office space together. We're right next door to each other, but yeah. My whole 10-minute talk is going to be about food. All right, so yes, we're getting recognized for crossing over 100,000 guys, and it's very ironic that, and I think some of you guys remember this, we were hosting Momentum Monday, which was called area-wide full-timers out in Woodland Hills, where our office was at. I had just hit S&D, and so I remember this very clearly. It was in February of 2015, and you know, I'm getting ready for my talk. I wasn't used to speaking to this many people at that time, and so, you know, I was really preparing myself. But the most excited, you know, that I think thing to focus on, or thing that I was excited for, was actually the S&D meeting. So I had heard so much about it, you know, obviously being around JR and Phil, and you know, I would hear what the S&D meeting was like, and I remember thinking, you know, I just want to be up there. You know, what I you know, really want to talk about today is really not so much of the run. You know, I know we go on runs towards rings and for promotions. You know, I'm not going to stand up here and talk about necessarily a big client or a couple of clients that I got, because I'm all about giving some value that you guys can take home and work on. And me helping a client or getting a specific associate doesn't really, you know, you guys can't duplicate that. So I want to talk about some core values that I think we've implemented in our business, and I'm going to pass off the mic to Amy in a second to talk about a big part of the changes that we've made. But really, two things I think have taken us to where we were to where we're at today, and that's my first point. The first point is going to be change, making a change, and the second point is going to be talking about belief. And I know you just spoke about belief, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit further. But changes, okay, so this doesn't have to be, you know, if you're doing bad, it could be if you're doing well. So I think anytime you're trying to progress into the business, or you're trying to hit your next promotion, your next income level, I think you need to take kind of an audit of your business, see where you're at, and really, because you're your own business owner. You know, are in charge of all different aspects, so you need to take a look at you know, what your closing skills are like across the kitchen table, what your recruiting is like, all of the different things that are involved with this business. Take a look at that, and we actually did that in February of this past year. We weren't where we wanted to be. Being in these S&D meetings, we were very frustrated, to be honest with you. We were at the low 60s, I think just had crossed over 60, and you know, we're thinking to ourselves, you know, inside, and I know a lot of you feel like this, we should be at a different level. You know, I have the talent to maybe be $50, $60, $100,000 higher than what I am right now, or I should be at a different level. I should have a bigger team. And we were so frustrated that we had that conversation in February, and you know, we made a lot of changes. And so what it all comes down to, you know, I'm very much a person, when I speak to a new associate, there's not many things that we do here at the business that, you know, you need to overcomplicate things on. And so I know sometimes being new, you hear a lot of different speakers and what they're focused on, but at the end of the day, guys, we do two things, and you know, I say this almost every day to new associates. You're recruiting at the end of the day, so you're helping a new associate. Maybe you know, they're working at a department store, you prospected them. However you get the person, you're taking them from where they are now and helping them become good in the business. So that's one thing to master, the recruiting. Being able to lead someone. The other side is your closing skills. You know, the KTP, helping people with what we do. So that's it, guys. Whenever you feel like you're at a down moment, like we were in February at 60,000, I said, well, that's what we need to focus on. And your personal activity is really all you can control at the end of the day. And you'll hear that from different speakers. You can't control what, you know, your 20 teammates are doing, or your 100 teammates are doing, or even if you have one teammate and you're frustrated right now, you can't control what they're doing, but you can control what you're doing. You can go back today and go prospect 20 people. You can, you know, set up 10 KTPs, and that's exactly what we did. But even more than that, that's only so good, I felt, is getting the personal activity going. But I said, we're only as good as our team. Ourselves going on the personal side, but what if we could help them do it? And so Amy is just really, I feel like the heartbeat of our team. I can't thank you enough. I just want to publicly say that. She's the reason, if you guys have seen me throughout the years here, I was always ambitious. I had, those good qualities inside of me. I knew that I would do well in the company. I just needed that missing piece, obviously. So, being a single guy coming into the company, she's really the person that, completes me as a man, but at the same time completes the business. She does really everything that was lacking. Really getting the team going, and that's where I want to pass it off to her. I talked a little bit about the personal side, but getting the team going is something that she's been amazing at, and our attendance has grown, our recruiting has grown, income, base points, all of these things, and I feel like it's in large part because of you, so I just want you to speak on that because this is our arena here. So.
This business is doing it together with my significant other, and if you guys have someone that you're with, I recommend bringing them into this business because it makes it so much more fun. I mean, we wake up every morning, go to the gym, get to the office, and go home together. And you always tell me, like, how do you guys not get sick of each other? But we don't. We are always around each other. We feed off each other. We love that. We motivate each other. And it's awesome to have someone that can share this journey with, that has that same motivation and drive. But when it comes to the team, like Eric said, we had the best start of the year, and we wanted to change that. And we were going to just sit there and complain. And we know the one thing you have to do in this business is go wide and build a team. And so with the individuals we had, I just stepped up as a leader, and I wasn't going to go tell them to prospect, and I'm going to sit in the office and not do that. I took them all out, and I started prospecting with them. I led by example, and from that, we have some great leaders on our team. I'm so proud of them, and all that's come from them. And, that's one of the biggest things to get where you're at. You need to build leaders. You got to duplicate yourself, and that's one thing we really overcame, and I, taught them how to prospect, taught them how to do fast starts, how to go on the field, and that's why we're the team that we have. So we do thank you guys. We always say you guys are business partners, but you're a family to us, and we love and appreciate you guys.
I still got a little bit more. Just lastly, just wanted to touch on belief. So all of that's important, guys. Remember, don't overcomplicate things. When you feel like you're in a funk, we do those two things. If you can do those and help your team, do those two things, then you can get to where you want to be. And just to piggyback off of, everything Yuri was talking about belief, it's very, very true. You need to surround yourself with people that have belief, and it's a self-learned trait. You might not be able, should I say, you're not necessarily born having a lot of belief, but definitely I think being in this company, you develop a lot more of belief. So that's something that you need to have, because I've seen people, they're amazing across the kitchen table, they're amazing recruiters, but maybe don't have belief, and then we don't see them at next Momentum Monday. And so the number one reason, guys, you can read a lot about belief. I do a lot of that stuff. The number one reason why people don't accomplish their goals and dreams is actually with all the different things that it could be, they just don't feel that it's possible. And people don't feel that it's possible because they're not seeing results, and that's why people ultimately leave at the end of the day. They didn't see it. They didn't see a result. They didn't see a vision. And so that's your job to cast it as again, it goes back to the number 1 and 2, be a personal example, but help them do it. If you see someone struggling on your team, like Amy was saying, take them out to prospect. Don't just see them, coming to each BPM not having guests. And so belief is a very big thing. I just want to close on this story. It's actually about belief. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of me.
Energy guy? Okay, this guy, we have a 2-minute speaker, non-SMD top personal recruiter. All right, over 14 direct, so he's doing something. So if we can bring up to the stage Kevin Fajardo.
Hey! everyone doing today? Are you guys' businesses moving? Are you guys learning? Are you guys growing? Expanding and hiring? No. But yeah, this is an awesome feeling, you know, coming up here last month with 12 directs, and I told you guys, I was like, I'm coming up here again, baby! So shout out to you, people, like if you say you're gonna do something, then do it. So, you know, props to him, and you know, props to the Elite Academy, learning from the best. Freaking from the top guys, and you know, just so nice. Yeah, you know, I'm up here, you know, for top personal recruits, and you know, it's all about consistency. So like Eric says, you know, anyone can come up here just one time, go boom, 1 month, and then drop the next month, and then go up the next month, down the next month. But see, Eric, he's always up here for something. He's always consistent. So it's great how he leads by personal example with his hard work ethic, and it pushes us in that freaking office. Man, that Genesis office is on fire. It's like, so that means 10 confirms, 3 guests come to meeting, and 1 code. So why don't you amp it up a bit? 20, 30, I go for 40 to 50 confirms every single BPM. You know, it's all about shooting for the stars, so it's like, if I don't come to BPM, I've been consistent with guest count for like 3 months. For 2-3 months, I haven't brought 0, no donuts. So it's all about, you know, if I don't feel like I'm bringing a guest, then I'm behind. So it's all about, you know, growing and, you know, bring guests to me, build a team, but I'm going to go for personal points, top personal points, you know, keep up the recruits, and I want to push, you know, Eric to EDC, ELB to EMD, Evolution to 100K, Watts to SMD, freaking Genesis takeover, baby!
Told me this business works, and I was so naive to think about that. I'd be like, you know what? If it works, let me just try and see what happens. And I don't know about you, but did you see the cash flow up here?
Yes.
Right? So you know what I mean? Like over 50 grand? That is amazing in a month. So most people make it a year, right? People are making it in a month, and we're still thinking about, is this for me? Do me a favor, all right? If your boss makes 50 grand a month, I don't know, maybe you should stay there. But you guys gotta be kidding me if you're thinking about doing something different than WFG. There's nothing else better out there. There's nothing. Go try and look. You're gonna waste your time. We'll see you in 3-4 years, and then our cash will be way higher than it is today. Yeah. All right? So make a decision. You've touched on belief. A lot of people are touching on belief, but also you have to start believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, your team sniffs it out. Right? If you don't believe in you, then how the heck are people going to believe in your vision and where you're going? So I want you guys to understand. In someone's life, hey, get the name and numbers, right? And then you just want to let people know they're champions, they're studs. Talk to your team this way. You know what happens? It's contagious, and everybody in your office starts to talk like that. And then you know you go to a family function, everybody thinks you're weird because every other word is awesome, right? Hey, awesome, awesome, awesome. And it's okay to think it's weird, because it's weird, rich, noble, poor, right? Hey, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, we're in the people of business. I mean, the business of people, right? We're in the people of our business of people. I can't even talk today, but I just gotta let you know, you gotta learn how to connect with your people. You gotta learn how to connect with your teammates. When you recruit a big team, right? And we're not even close to being a big team. You know, but when you do recruit a big team, you got to learn how to communicate effectively, learn how to get them excited, learn how to have them have your back as you have their back. They got to buy into your vision. they got to go with you. They got to climb to that mountaintop. And even though they don't know what's coming on the other side of that mountaintop, you got to see who's on the right and who's on the left of you. And if you do it right, you're going to have a team with you. If you're by yourself, you probably need some help. All right? But I just want to say that I'm excited to be in business. Thank you, Guillermo Haro, for being my upline. I appreciate that. Thank you for this Alabama trip. It was amazing. I never saw so many fired up people in one area ever in my life. And I think our company needs to get there. And I'm just excited to build it, guys. And I just want to say that you guys are on the best team ever. Yes. Right? We're on the best team ever, right? Yeah! All right, so let's make some noise. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go. So I only got 2 minutes, so if the music hits, I want to start dancing, because if I do, it's going to be bad, you guys. So let's put this out. All right. So I'm speaking on behalf of myself, actually my mother, and my entire team. We just actually hit MD, and which is a great thing. And so we've been in the running. I've been in the business less than 10 months. And in that time, our base shop's at about 90 right now. I got 52 personal recruits myself. My mother was my first licensed agent, so she couldn't be here today because she's pending a heart surgery, so let's pray for her. Speaking on behalf of her as well. Just our team's doing a lot of big things right now, and I contribute that to Mr. David Lynn, my ABC, and Andy Pham, my SMD over there, just pouring into me and my team, spending a lot of moments with us, whether it be internal competitions, quick fast starts for our teams, whether it be attendance, big attendance. We're pushing big attendance. We're pushing, going to big events.
We've been following up every few months, every couple of months, and then on birthdays and holidays, sometimes I got replies back and sometimes I didn't. And I mean, we thought that we had a very good meeting back then in 2014 and was ready to close 5 IULs, but I guess it wasn't good enough or it wasn't the right time. And then she just grabbed me by my hand, she took me to her husband and she said, listen, every time you follow up with me, I talk to him, but now you need to talk to him. So we made him commit to meet tomorrow night and to close those 5 IULs. Another story, I was over the summer, I was out for 7 weeks. I came back and I needed some cash flow. I needed, to produce some business. So I followed up with someone who I met a few months ago, and I said, I came back on a Monday night. I texted her on Tuesday morning, and I said, can we meet on a Thursday, giving me enough time to go over my jet lag? And she said, no, I can't meet on Thursday, but how about tonight? And I'm thinking, okay, let's do it. So I went and I closed 9,000 points. So, I have numerous examples like that, but I wanted to give you some tips about how I follow up with people. First, once they are on my top 25 list, they never go out, they never go off that list unless I either close them or they ask me not to approach them anymore, and then I'll move them to the bottom 25, but they're still not going off my 25.
How you guys doing? Awesome. It's incredible. So I got a few minutes. I want to make sure that I get right to it, but I want to start off with some thanks. Thanks. I actually want to thank. It's a ring that we hit, and it's a great accomplishment. But I want to thank, of course, my team. Number one, my team, Team Virtue. You guys are absolutely incredible. It's a team effort. I want to thank Team Heroes, the Brea office, Team Conquer. This is actually a victory for all of us. For all of us, it really is. And the most important thank, the number one thanks, is to my amazing wife. She's an absolute trooper. I would not be where I'm at without my wife. She is incredible, absolutely incredible. But I'll dive right into it, guys. So I actually, corporate America background, right? I was a senior buyer for an aerospace company. I did that for just shy of 9 years. And one of the things that I got paid to do there is I got paid to basically save the company money. And I was good at it. I was really good at it. I actually liked what I did.
But I saved them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And the thing I realized is that I wasn't getting a penny of that. Not one penny of it. Somebody was getting it, just wasn't me, right? And why not me, right? I was literally one promotion away from being maxed out of my corporate life. So I kind of saw what was coming. I was 36 at the time. Now, let me ask you guys something. How many people here currently have a job? Raise your hands. Now let's take it a step further. How many people currently have a job and called out sick today? Nice! That's awesome. You guys know why you're here. Yeah, that's awesome, incredible. Good for you guys. So, ask yourself this. What you guys currently do at your job, is that something that you guys think you were put on this planet to do that? No. Right? Not at all. So I was the same way. I wanted more out of life. Right? That's something that I think every single person in this room can relate to. You guys know you want more. That's why you guys are here, right? Now, here's the other thing, too. You guys, as people that do know me, I wasn't going to go back to school. I was a some college guy, right? I sure as heck wasn't going to go back to school. At the end of the day, school is not to knock it. If you want to be a doctor, go to school. Especially if you're going to be my doctor. Make sure you go to school. Don't think about it. That's true. But that's the thing I love about WFG. WFG, we touch base on reality. It's something that we deal with on a daily basis. It doesn't get any realer than this. And here's the other thing. This is the solution for the middle class, right? How many of you guys know somebody who has a degree, bachelor's, master's, and they're working at Trader Joe's? How many people probably in this room that have degrees, you probably aren't even using your degrees for what you got it for, right? That's very common, right? And here's the thing. I love this, I think it was Grant Cardone that said it. I could have sworn I heard him say this. Do you guys know how much money there is on this planet? Billions of people on it. If you were to take up all the money and split it up, you know how much money each person would get? Approximately $1 billion. You would take it up, right? And it's, and I mean, hopefully the Guillermo can actually attest to this. He used to live next door to the heiress of In-N-Out, right? And when they open up a location, a new In-N-Out location, do you guys know how many people submit an application for just that one location? About 15,000 applicants. So you have, think about it. You have 15,000 people lining up to flip burgers. Right? Don't get me wrong, if you got burger flippers, it's all good. You guys are here, you guys are in the right place, right, at the end of the day. But there's so much money out there, and we're out there chasing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year. Why? Why? Right? Now, I will say this. I am here for the money. I am here for the money, believe it or not, because I know what options it gives my family. Right? But I will say this, though. It's an incredible byproduct. If you help enough people get to where they want to get to, you will get to where you want to get to. I'm a big believer of that, right? But don't get me wrong. I am here for it. Now, I will say this also. Earlier in the year, we finished off the year strong. If you guys were at Walpole, it was incredible. It was very, very good to us. It was very good to the team. I took my foot off the gas a little bit. I'll put myself out here and I'll say it publicly to everybody. I took my foot off the gas. I had other businesses, other things that I had to take care of, other engagements. I wanted to make sure that I basically got rid of those things that were taking my time away from this. Because this is the thing that's going to take us to the next level. I genuinely believe that. And I'll even say this. I'm actually a little embarrassed, and some people might hate me saying this, but I'm actually a little embarrassed to be up here talking for just $100,000. We turned on the gas, we actually did it again, and we did it in a few months, and we're here. But this is something I can say. We will, by 2018 Walpole, we'll have our $500,000 ring. I want to make sure that I publicly announce it so you guys all hold me accountable, especially the first couple of rows here, my peers. We will have our $500,000 ring. We'll have multiple ring earners. We'll have multiple offices. Because I love everything about it. The video, everything. And you don't have to be a fan necessarily. The gentleman's name's Macklemore. He has a video. It's called Glorious. It's a song about Glorious. Anybody here? Amazing. That song, when I heard that song, especially the video because I was really close to my grandmother, it was really weird. I turned into this 3-year-old girl. I just started sobbing. It just spoke to me. Literally, everywhere. You guys ever heard that song? Hear that song. There's almost every single word, minus the DeLorean. I've never had a DeLorean. But every single word. And I actually tell you guys a little piece of it that I love. Right? So did you guys know you died twice? You died 2 times. You guys know that? Right? Once is when they bury you in the grave. The second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. Think about it, right? So, when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? But it's true. When's going to be the last time somebody mentions your name? Because that day will come eventually, right? What kind of lineage, what is it that you're building, right? I have a 2-year-old. My wife and I, we have this 2-year-old son. We have another one on the way. In December, little girl's going to be born. There's a very good chance, thank you, brother, appreciate it, thank you guys, thank you. There's a very good chance, though, right? I have a 21-year-old daughter, so I literally got it all covered. I got like a stay-at-home babysitter. But there's a very good chance I'll never get a chance to meet my son's grandkids, assuming he has kids. I'm 38 years old. It is what it is, right? But they will know who David and Sonia Oliveira are. They absolutely will. Because I'm a big believer in this, and I'll close out with this, and you guys may have heard this before, but it's something that really, really speaks to me. Boys and girls, they work for the weekend. Real men and women work for closing, right? Closed out strong. Generations. Boys and girls work for the weekend. Real men and women work for generations. That's the end of the day, right? Love you guys. See you guys at the top.
Number one cash flow, number one personal point, J.R. Medina.
Today's meeting, right? I haven't laughed this hard at a Momentum Monday, but I want to start off by just doing a little recap on this past weekend. WFG delivered again on a world-class experience, and I feel so blessed, and I'm thankful to Guillermo for inviting me to this unique experience, being able to go out to Alabama University and experience, this college football game, and it's first class all the way, VIP. We get there on Friday night or Friday late afternoon, and we have this executive kind of discussion in the boardroom of WFG home office, and I was sitting there at the executive roundtable there in the boardroom, and I was just like, man, this is incredible, right? For those of you that were there. And you almost are like pinching yourself because you think back when you start as a trainee and that it's actually happening now. And it was an incredible experience, and it's things like that make it so worth it, beyond the money. It's the memories and what it does to your vision and the friendships and the bonds you continue to build. And it was awesome hanging out with my peers and talking about getting to the next level. So just wanted to say thank you, G, for that. Appreciate it. Now, my next point, though, we're coming up in a very dangerous part of the year, in my opinion. This is why it's dangerous, and maybe some of you right now, you might be guilty of this. It's very easy at this point in the year to say, you know what, I'll get this thing going next year. Right? Think about it. A lot of you are like, you know what? Halloween's right around the corner. Thanksgiving, the holidays are coming up. I'll get this thing, I'll change next year. Right? No, seriously, right? And I want to challenge you to not do that. Don't make that mistake. In fact, you need to change what you're doing immediately to change what you're getting, right? Yep. So those of you that have been here for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're still in the same spot, you're still sitting at 20,000 rolling 12, or your width is really off, you still got a small team, you got onesie twosies, you got to immediately take action, right? You got to change what you're doing right now. What you're doing isn't working. Loud and clear, right? I mean, this is a direct, serious conversation. What you're doing right now, what's gotten you to this point, it's not working. And one of the biggest things I got from this trip to Alabama was actually a conversation we had with Frank Robles, which I appreciate a lot. Because even myself, right? Even myself, I take a look at, okay, you know what? We got some good stuff going on. We're promoting some people, but I'm frustrated. When's my explosion going to come, right? When are we going to blow through 300 recruits in a month? I'm tired. It's taking too long where we really want to go. And the key, I think, is just for everybody, but especially for myself, it's the speed that we do things in, right? The speed that you make calls at your fast start. You know, I mean, it's incredible. Frank was sharing with me some stuff that, you know, they do up north and stuff at their fast start. And I thought, okay, you know, I got something good going on. And I'm like, I got to be faster, right? I got to get 3 to 5 names faster and call them sooner, right? And getting them to a meeting, getting them to a one-on-one. And so if I'm doing that, and I'm looking at what I need to change, you need to be doing that, right? You absolutely need to be doing that. So I think, you know, you got to get faster with your width, with going wide. You need to be faster with getting people out in the field. You need to be faster at getting a list, calling that list immediately, and stop wasting time. Have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that years come quick and they come fast? It was just, it's crazy. We're sitting in the SMD meeting. It was just like January when we were sending out who's doing, you know, the rotations of Momentum Monday. Remember that? And it's like, here we are, already talking about the end of the year. What's coming next January? The years come quick and they come fast. Stop wasting time. You know, I say this all the time. There's a million ways to make $1 million, isn't there? There's all kinds of ways to make money. And so one of the problems in WFG when you're recruited, you keep believing there's another way to make $1 million. You don't see that this is the way that came across your lap. Stop wasting time. Stop thinking, well, maybe I'll do it in real estate. Maybe I'll start my own business. Maybe I'll go buy a franchise. It's this right now. Wake up. Stop wasting time. Put blinders on. And make your $1 million here. You have $1 million a year earning opportunity, and you're blowing it by wasting time, not getting wide, not doing it faster, avoiding phone calls, avoiding what she calls the dirty, that grunt work, meeting after meeting after meeting, BPMs, you're missing them, you're not working weekends. You know, it's crazy because, you know, social media is incredible, but it's also, it's a false sense of reality for a lot of people, you know? It's like, I see people on my team, I see people on other people's team, I'm like, what the heck are you doing socializing so much? Why are you not working? Right? Like, you want to make $1 million a year, guess what? You're going to have to work Sundays. Like, stop negotiating working Sundays. You're going to have to work Sundays, right? And by the way, you can still have it all. You can still have an incredible social life. You can still do what you got to do with your family. But stop sacrificing the work on the Sunday because you want to go socialize. You know? It's never going to happen that way. And then your team sees that. So you got to change what you're doing to change what you're getting, right? Working harder, not missing BPMs. All the basic stuff we constantly talk about, but maybe right now it's finally hitting you for real, right? Like, wake up! Your life's on the line. You know, we're having we're literally walking in Alabama. We talk about the kind of conversations we have, and I was like, you know what? This is. It was Josh, G, myself. We were talking about this is an incredible university. And I was like, look, man, with all due respect, I wouldn't want my daughter to go here. I want her to go to Harvard. Because I'm trying to change the destiny of my family. I've got an urgency about creating what Davis, I love what he said, creating generational wealth. Do you realize the opportunity we have? You have a shot to create generational wealth. Not too many places exist where you can do that, right? And you have that shot. The fact that we're even talking like that, you know, G's like, you're right, dude. You're absolutely right. And you know what I told him too? And Grant Cardone says this, not for the education, by the way, but for the network. For the network, right? Don't ever get it twisted. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And so you got to get great at that, right? And so that's what I'm thinking. And it's crazy because this company has completely changed my mindset. You know, you change the way you think, your whole business will change for the better, right? You got to adopt this way of thinking, this mindset. And so, as we start to wrap up here, you know, I can't stress enough, guys. This is the moment you want to create change. Don't wait for the new year. Don't already throw in the towel and talk about, you know what, 2018 is going to be my year. No, how about you finish strong this year? We got October, we got November, we got December. By the way, the holidays are right around the corner. Don't you want to have some extra Christmas cash? Right? Or is it going to be another crappy Christmas? No, it doesn't have to be, right? Some of you guys right now, the parking blew you out of the water today. Oh my God. $14, why didn't they say anything? When are you going to finally not have parking be an issue? Like, seriously. Like, make a decision, right? Anyway, guys, I get so frustrated seeing so many talented people not winning at this because you're negotiating the work. That's what it is. You're negotiating the work. You haven't desensitized yourself from the nose. You still let rejection hurt you. Like, get over it, right? And there's going to be a ton of no's in the business. More people have said no to me than have ever said yes. And there's a long time ago I got over it, right? So if the no's still hurt, you got some work to do. You got to start running some numbers. Desensitize yourself from the no's. And watch what will happen to your business, right? It'll be on fire once that happens. You know, Steve Siebel talked about that at convention, and that was a big nugget that I took. And so we talk about that all the time. You know, change the language in your office, desensitize yourself from the nose. Who's not desensitized yet? Who still gets really hurt when somebody says no or rejection? It's okay. Well, you gotta get to the point where it doesn't hurt you anymore. Because I don't care if somebody says no to the product, no to the opportunity. I'm like, next, right? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. You get rich on the some will and the next, right? It's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way. And stop negotiating it, right? Start running some big numbers. I appreciate you guys. Please change what you're doing and change what you're getting. We'll see you at the top.
Team United. to be here?
Maybe I should at least change my pants. So I quickly changed my pants, got in here. It's like the shirt will just have to fly. But no, very glad to be here, guys. First of all, let me just say, we are very excited about the future, but I have to, first of all, I mean, she's giving up for me, but anyone who's married in here knows that there's no possible way you can be successful in this business if you don't have the full support of your spouse. That's your number one recruit, and Carla Kelman is the most supportive woman that I've ever met, not only in this business, but in life. Over almost 18 years of being married, I can say that and speak with conviction about it. So, very excited, guys. Some of you guys know me well. Some of you know me decently. Some of you have seen me a little bit. And some of you don't know me at all. But you will get to know me. Carla and I, one thing you may or may not know, we are super competitive. And it's funny because I kept a low profile because for a long time, I wanted to be up here, but my numbers didn't represent it yet. I wasn't doing what I knew I was capable of. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're in that position where you know that you've got greatness within you. And you know that there's something deep down on the inside of you. And you're ready for it to come out, but it's just not there yet. So I got to tell you, this is the result of not 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. This is the result of 2 years. This is 2 years licensed in the business as of September last month. 2 years of consistently putting in the work. Chris Muzan and his wife Zara, and Robert Lupe, Ropati, they always talk to us about the work. You know, prospecting, making the phone calls, getting good with the scripts, making sure that you're being a do-it-first leader. Those are the things that win long term. Those are the things that win. So if you're not seeing the fruit of your labor right now, just know that it's coming. If you're doing those things. I tell my team all the time, this business is a game of numbers. It really is. It's a mathematical thing. It's not a matter of if you're going to win, it's just when you're going to win. It's time compounded with effort, and if you're putting both those things in, it's going to happen. So I'm super fired up, very glad to be here. I have no idea how long we have, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, man. It is just the beginning. Now that I'm on this playing field, I have a back on every single SMD in here. Like a target just on their back. I'm just like looking at them. And I've been looking at them for a while, but I haven't been able to speak up. Because I heard Ed Milet say that one time. He's like, I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to go introduce myself to you until I know that I'm showing it with my numbers, until I know that I'm there, that I'm at least in the game. And that's how I've been. Like, I'm looking at all these people and I'm like, I put in more work than that person. I work a hell of a lot harder than that person. I can run the scripts better than that person. I'm going to be number one in this deal. My wife and I are going straight to the top. And I know that there's lots of people in here that are going to do the same. That gets me.
Think about G individually. I mean, if you guys all like remember individual conversations, and you're like, man, that guy just said that, didn't he? Right? he just speaks so directly. And what I appreciate about him, more is, you know, these top leaders within our company, they all have their specialties and things, but the one thing I've always noticed about G is he loves WFG more than any other big leader out there. And I mean, he will 100%, you know, when they say blinders on, do you know what blinders on mean? That's like from racehorse jargon, is they put it on racehorses, all right, so they don't get distracted and they focus on the finish line target, and that's how they win. And this guy is consistently always after it, chasing it down, blinders on, and it permeates throughout all of us. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my dear friend, leader of leaders, Guillermo Haro.
Momentum Mondays just continue to outdo themselves, okay? Give yourself a
our job is to change your life, man. We're going to change your life. We want things to turn out for you and your family, and you see that time and time again, week after week, month after month, we change people's lives. You're a part of Team Conquer, you're a part of WFG, you're a part of Momentum Monday. Your life is going to change, man. You just got to know that. And I'm a product of these kinds of meetings. I could never see myself missing a Momentum Monday. And I could never see myself showing up late, especially if you're a leader, to Momentum Mondays. I could never see myself not mobilizing my teammates here. My job is to get here and be all in and then get you to do the same. If you copy what champions do, you shall become a champion yourself. Amen? Amen. Everybody say, boo! Boo! All right, we're going to kick some ass. We're going to do some big things. Let's give away some money, shall we? All right, raise your hand if you bought a ticket. Raise your hand if you bought a ticket. All right, so here's the deal. Every single Momentum Monday, we'd like to have all of you guys participate. Let's get this pot up to a few $1,000s. By the way, if all of you in here bought 2 or 3 tickets, we'd have $1,500 to $2,000, maybe $2,500 in the pot. And by the way, we'll change your life. The winner, of course. The rest of you guys will just donate. There we go. Can we do that? Let's blow it out of the water next month. Yeah. Next month on Momentum Monday, you come in, bring $2 or $3, buy 3 tickets, and you might walk away with $1,500, $2,000. And by the way, that you might have a better Christmas. Even if you don't prospect, I guess. All right, that's a mixed message. Don't buy into that, please. There we go. The winner is, everybody pull out their tickets. Last 4 digits, 9215. Who are you? Yeah! What's your name, lady?
Rosita Gonzalez.
Rosita Gonzalez, right? All right, so tell us, how did you learn about WFG? Who talked to you? Tell us briefly.
I met a wonderful friend in church, Ronald Weathered, and he knew my market. He's like, come here. So he was going to use me for a market. I said, no, I'm taking part of this.
How long have you been with us?
2 years November. This month.
2 years November. Okay. Team Conquer is better because of you. Thank you. All right. Will Kelman and Peter Scott. Okay, by the way, these are all the people that are not SMD that are going to be an SMD. That's what we award you with the SMD belt. So, for September 2017, the SMD belt winner is Will Kelman. I'm so fired up about Mr. and Mrs. Kelman, fired up about their future. Just so you guys know, I am a witness to seeing the kind of work these guys put in. I'm a witness to seeing them making phone calls, always have guests. Can you guys raise up on your feet? Do you see everybody else standing? You might want to stand up too, just kind of makes sense to me. By the way, you're responsible for your neighbor's behavior. If your neighbor's not clapping, you spank them and make sure they are clapping. If your neighbor's not standing up, you pull their ass up by the hair, if they have any, or something else. So let's all participate. This is a max out team, is it not? Everybody say with me, max out. All right, everybody say with me, max out. There we go. That's how we do things. Let's make sure we show up to these events and we fully participate. It says something a lot about you and how much you believe in this. You know what I mean? All right. And when they tell him you're drinking the juice, you say, yes, I am, and it tastes damn good, and I'm going to get rich because of it. There you go. Our EMD belt goes to the following contestants. Coming up, you and your spouse, and come all the way up to the edge, please. Can we have Nathan Arumpapon?
September 2017 goes to Danny and Zach. Congratulations to that Temecula office. All of you. In your life, there's no better feeling than winning. No better feeling than winning. And it's awesome to be a winner, and it's awesome to compete, and it's awesome to bust your butt. There we go. All right, can I have to the stage now for the CEO belt presentation? Can I have to the stage Mark Chuthar, Josh Williamson, Is Team Conquer got some handsome people or what? Hey, I hear it says, hey, is he talking about me? All right. Nobody laughed, babe, sorry. The CEO belt for September 2017, Team Conquerors Momentum Monday, goes to JR and Michelle. To be part of an office that's constantly surging to the top is one of the biggest privileges you'll have here. And you need to do your best to make sure your leader gets to the top. What you do for your leader, your people will do for you. I hope you're clear on that. So here we go. We're going to now pass out our EVC belt. Can I have to the stage here? Lynn Lee-Shan, Nick Lancaster, and Eric Jamalita. So JR should be here. Josh Williamson should be in this area because we need to get more people to the top. It's lonely at the top, and it stinks at the bottom, and it's funky. Hurry up and get the hell out of Stinky Land. Here we go. Our EVC belt winner for September 2017, Momentum Monday, Hyatt Regency, West Los Angeles, California. There is, it's going to go to a male. Our winner is Lynn Lee-Shan. Topics. This is topic number one. I'm going to throw some bullet points at you, and then I'll talk about topic number two, and then I'm going to get into my final topic number three. So I have 1, 2, 3 for you today. So pay close attention to some of the stuff that I want to talk to you about. Topic number one is, how important is it to you to achieve the WFG $100,000 range? Hello? Talk to me. All right. So let me tell you a mindset that goes with that. The first thing you ought to be most committed to, if you don't have it, is getting your $100,000 ring. All of you in here that do not have a $100,000 ring, that should be the focal point of every single day you wake up. You should be in hot pursuit of that ring. It's critical to your recruiting abilities that you have a ring. You feel empty without it. You're just quite not convinced that it's working for you the way it could. And if you go get the WFG ring, man, let me just tell you all sorts of possibilities. Good things happen to you when you get that $100,000 ring. And here's the reason. Here's the deal. You've not made it a priority.
it's still okay. You're not serious about making big-ass money. When I was at your level, when I was senior associate, my cash flow was at 43,000 or 28 or 61. I just got to tell you, man, it was burning inside of me. Like, man, I'm going to get that freaking ring. I was just lit up. That ring meant so much to me. I could see the people that take the, you get up there and says, okay, let's take the ring picture. And I wasn't one of them. And like month after month after month would go by and I didn't have that ring. And that just ate me up, man. All of you guys in here that don't have a ring, it's not serious enough to you. You've not committed. You've not been able to visualize yourself without it. Now that I have a ring, I could never picture not having a ring. By the way, this is my 6th ring, so I got as many rings as Michael Jordan. And I'm going to go get another 5, 6 of them that he didn't get. Whoa. So I'm committed to getting a ring. Here it is. If you get the ring, it proves to people that it works. Guillermo Haro, you with me? You get the, imagine a fired up, excited, caffeine guy out like you with a freaking ring, lights out. All of you in here, SMDs, have an LC, no ring? People look at you, you're an SMD without a ring? What's up, Elijah? What's a ring? Like every woman wants a ring. This one you can control, the other one you might not. You know a woman that doesn't want a ring? Well, all of you in here, all you women that are SMDs, you can go get your own ring. By the way, just make $100,000. Here's a ring. We'll present it to you, make a big deal out of it. It's like sort of you getting married with WFG. I now present you $100,000 earner. Here's the deal. Hurry up and get the ring. Ready? You're making it look too damn hard without it. Erica, let's get the ring, girl. Fine Latina girl like you need a ring. All of you in here, your job is to go get that freaking ring. Get the ring. We need a room. We need to do a meeting with only ring earners. Yeah. A meeting was said, hey, if you got a ring, welcome to this meeting. And we need to fill it up like this. Imagine what Team Conquer would look like if we had every single one of you guys in here. Tell me your number one goal isn't to go get the ring. Yeah. So you need to be sold out to that. How come you don't have a ring? You don't work hard enough. You don't get enough numbers. You don't make enough phone calls. You're still wishy-washy with your efforts. You're still loosey-goosey with your disciplines. Especially some of you guys that are SMD. You've been an SMD year in, year out, and year in. And exactly what JR said. You are still negotiating the price you need to pay in order to get the ring. Here's one thing that I learned. You really appreciate when someone gets a ring because you know the work they put in. Will, you with me? The minute you get that ring, it's like, okay, they worked. And all of you who don't have a ring yet, you understand you've not put in the work. You've not committed to the sacrifice and all the bullshit you got to go through and all the no's and all the people who flake and all the people who buy and the next day it says, I've been thinking. You got to go through that crap. You will have to go through all the shit that you don't want to on your way to the ring. When you get to the ring, man, it feels so damn good because you know you paid the price. So today should be a new priority. All of you who don't have a ring, the number one thing, let's see who can get a ring. Every Momentum Monday, we should be presenting 4, 5, 6 people to get a new ring. Next Momentum Monday, another 5, 6 people, 7, 8 people, 9, 10 people. They will come in Momentum Monday where we present up here, okay, our newest 10 people who just got the ring. Boom, 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 boom. We have a ring presentation. Daniel Corona, no ring. Win, no win, no ring. Win, ring. How do you say it? Yeah, what's it feel like to be an SMD without a ring? Oldest bird, no ring. A brother without some jewelry. That just don't sound right. I don't know any brothers that don't like jewelry. Yes? Yes. Let's get a ring. Yes. Everybody say it with me. The ring is the thing. The ring is the thing. One more time. The ring is the thing. Who wants to get a ring in the next 6 months? Let's get a ring. No matter who you are, if you like jewelry or not, this ring is a must. It confirms that it works. And if you don't have it, make it your number one top priority. Not a promotion, not SMD, not MD, not a new office. Your number one priority should be getting a ring. We don't have enough ring earners in Team Conquer, and we need to have all of you guys commit to the ring.
Let's talk about how to get it. 80% of you getting that ring means your own personal points. That's how it works. You are going to have to muster up enough applications, enough appointments, enough direct recruits, enough 10 KTPs with one direct, another 10 KTPs, another 10 KTPs. You must muster up enough activities so that you make $80,000 out of 100. Your team will help out with the overrides of another $20,000. That's roughly the way it works. So you will have to do the lion's share of all of the work and all of the production for you to get the ring. Your team, some of your people will help out. Because they're getting licensed, they're barely learning the business, but you should be on fire. That was my number one thing. I got my ring, my 11th month in the business. Got signed up, 11 months later, I'm making $100,000 in the business. It's an incredible feat. Tell me WFG, the ring, is not the ultimate conversation piece. And I mean, people everywhere, at the airport, at restaurants, at Starbucks, at DN, wherever I go, they look at the ring and they see me. And I just like clown them all the time. Oh, what's the ring for? Super Bowl ring. Really? Yeah. What team you play for? Patriots? What year? 2006. I just made that up. He's like, wow. Yeah, never go like this. I says, you believe that? He says, yeah, well, it's a nice ring that says world on it. So they think it's world champion, or World Series, or something like that. I said, actually, I earned it in business, and they have a ring system, and by the way, this is my 6th one. Where you work at, do they have a ring system where they recognize your achievement with further income in your life? No. How does that work? Give me a name and number, let's talk. By the way, the ring got me a prospect. You know, when you get good at this stuff, prospects come to you. And then when you suck at it, you got to go after them. So let's get the sucking part out of the way quicker, so therefore prospects come to you. It's your posture, it's how you walk, it's your confidence, it's how you breathe, it's the ring, it's your smile, it's your confidence, it's your air of confidence. The ring will elevate your confidence level. Yes? Yes. Get after the ring. Everybody with me? Yes. Every single Momentum Monday, we should have 3, 4, 5 people rolling up here. Got the ring, got the ring, got the ring, got the ring. Just that should be the thing. We should have Momentum Monday. The ring is a theme. Should be the deal. And women, all of you should be after it. You already like rings anyway. Bo? All right. Topic number 2. How are we going to make this happen? Here is something I don't really talk about, but I think is the absolute truth. You got to stay close to your leader. We have too many of you guys that are a little bit too far apart with your relationship, with your commitment to your leader. I can tell you that the people who are closest to me, relationship-wise, time spent with me, the Danny Farias of the world, J.R. Mejia, Eric Gemelita, Lee Samen, the people who are the most successful in WFG, Nick Lancaster, many others of you, the people who are closest to me are the most successful. Let me prove it to you. When you are close to your leader, that means you call them every day. I don't know, for about a year and a half, Reeve called me 2-3 times every single day to build a relationship so I could hear from him, for accountability, so that we could just unite the relationship. If you are not calling your leader every single day, that's your bad. And you have the opportunity to quickly change that. If I'm on Robert Ropati's team, I'm calling him every day. He picks up, doesn't pick up, doesn't matter. I'm texting him. I'm communicating with him every day. Says, hey, dude, just want you to know, I'm thinking about you. I'm fired up. I got 2 or 3 numbers. I got an appointment. Stay in constant communication with your upline SME. You see the people that drift off. It's like they get away from the protection of the upline. They get away from the upline, those people start to slowly die. Look at all the people that aren't close to you and they move off. Why do they sort of drift off? How come they're not in communication with you? Why do they stop pursuing a solid relationship? Well, because they don't really want to be held accountable. You know, we talk about when people join this company, you know, if you're brand new and you join this company, one of my questions to you is, hey Bob, let me ask you a question before we move forward. Are you looking for strong leadership or weak leadership? By the way, what do they all say? Strong. Say it loud.
Strong. We say strong leadership. So I ask every single person, hey, before we move forward, let me ask you a serious question. Are you looking for strong leadership or weak leadership? And of course, all of them, justly so, say strong leadership. And I look at them real close, I said, I'm glad you said that because that's the only type I provide. Now, they just said that, but they don't really mean it. When you do give them strong leadership, all of a sudden they're offended. All of a sudden you're the bad guy. All of a sudden you're too aggressive. All of a sudden you got a little bit too mean. Let me tell you one thing, buddy. If you want to win in life, you got to stick to strong leadership. Strong leadership is part of it. Stop being a weenie. We got too many men that are so freaking sensitive. We need to have you men step up and take the coaching, take your medicine. Ed Milet chewed my ass out several times. Sometimes public, sometimes private. But he did it so that I could become better. And it hurt my ego and crushed me a little bit. And I sort of felt like I didn't like him. And then I'd be driving home, I'd be grabbing my steering wheel, grinding my teeth. I'm like, oh, little short son of a bitch. What the hell? And I just started like, my business sense started coming over. Like, I was like fuming, just chewing me out in the meeting because lack of performance, I was out of alignment, or I showed up late, or did something that I shouldn't have been doing. And I sort of like have it against him. And then I'd be driving home or going, like, after I left the meeting, and I'm like, oh, shit, but he's right. But he's right! And then the next meeting got a little bit better. And the next meeting got better. And that might let sort of shame me, embarrass me, put me on check a little bit, mess with my ego, my opinions, all of a sudden were worth less, but I was getting better. Let me just tell you, when someone puts you on blast, there's something you're doing that could be done a certain way, and we believe in you. Be careful that you're never called out. That means you're not even noticed. You're not even relevant. If I say something to you, that means I've noticed you. That means you have potential. That means there's greatness inside of you that we need to rattle out of you. Don't ever be afraid to be checked by your leader. They do that for your own. And by the way, stop worrying about what people think about you. When they get checked, you're not really worried about them either. So stop worrying so much about your little personality or your ego and all that. The ultimate, the best players understand that they're going to get chewed out by the coach around other players. It's okay. We went to the Alabama football game, and I saw the one guy, the other opposing team punted the ball, and this one player got the ball, and he fumbled 3 different times. Remember that, Anthony? He fumbled 3 different times, and we were watching. Anthony and I were there watching. That player would run off the field, and Nick Saban, the best college coach in football right now, would grab a guy by his jersey and chew his ass out right then and there. By the way, he did it 3 times. Why? Because he believes in him. What if he didn't believe in him? He wouldn't say nothing, said just get out, then wouldn't put him in the game anymore. Let me just tell you one thing. Tough coaching is awesome. Yes. Stop being afraid of it. Stop being so freaking sensitive. Desensitize yourself. Take your medicine. Yes. The doctor prescribes medicine to make you well. We will tell you the things you're not doing right. And sometimes they're not going to be very politically correct. But that's what tough people do. Be tough so therefore people can be tough with you. I have 2 sons. And they don't like to be talked to in a tough way sometimes. And they run to their mommy. And mommy and daddy have an argument about how the kids process that sometimes. I said, we're not raising any weenies, right? There's already too many men that are already weenies. We don't need 2 more. We need men to be like men. We need men to be strong. We need men to be full of courage. We need men to be in a position of strength. We don't need desensitized men to the point where they lose touch with what it's like to be a masculine man that kicks ass in life. Life is not easy. And if you're a real softy kind of guy, it's going to be way harder. We will breed champion men here, and these ladies will be super proud to say, man, I'm glad I have a strong man. I just believe in that. And by the way, all of you guys who think opposite of that, I respect it. It's okay, but I'm just giving you my viewpoint. I hope you guys buy into that with me. Yes? Yes. Bo. Build a strong relationship with your upline. Build a strong relationship with your upline. I believe it's critical. I believe it's super important to constantly reinforce your relationship. Let's talk about the work relationship. Is it always going to be perfect? Hello? No. Relationship is a combination of good times and a few bad times. But the ultimate strength of the relationship is the duration it goes through in spite of not being a smooth road all along. Understand that a relationship means a commitment to keep it. I have a relationship with many of you guys. We're not always going to see eye to eye. We're not always going to get along. I will say something stupid. I'm human. And by the way, so will you. You're human. We understand that we made a commitment for a long time. You know, the man right there, Anthony McGowan and I, known each other since the 3rd grade. And it's just the reality that we will have a lifelong relationship. I'm either going to go to him to create that kind of bond with your leader. I hope that you're committed to making sure that you endure. Can you have a disagreement and still hold on to the relationship? Can you have differences of opinion? Can someone be liberal and someone be conservative and still hold on to the relationship? And still respect each other's opinion? I'm not here to convert you. Somewhat. But you get the point. Hold on to the relationship. Build a strong bond with your upline. It's so important. I've noticed the people who are closest to my left have been most successful. And then I also saw people who thought in my left was a little bit too tough, or kind of chewed a lot in the meeting, or talked about their inefficiencies or their ability to perform, or whatever it is, and those people just constantly pull them out of the business. If you don't stay close to your leader, eventually you will pull out of it. Are you with me on that? Have we seen that over and over again? Yeah. And by the way, stop pointing out the fact that your upline is not perfect. Does you no good. Your upline is a human being. Just because they override you doesn't mean they have to be perfect. Cut them some slack the way they've been cutting you slack all along. Super important to do that. When was the last time you asked your upline SMD? Listen to this. When was the last time you asked your upline SMD, hey upline, what do I need to do to get better? When's the last time you did that? You're on JR's team. When's the last time you went up to JR and said, JR, you see my business. What do I need to do to get better? Where can I improve? Where do you see my deficiencies at? Tell me what I'm good at and tell me what I need to improve. When's the last time you've done that? Go to your upline, buy them lunch, cup of coffee, bring them an apple, whatever the deal is. Can I spend 5 minutes with you? Says, hey, can you tell me what I need to do to get better? And no one cares more about you in this business than your upline. Every single one of you guys should build a ever-growing relationship with your upline based on professionalism. Make sure it's personal. Make sure you break bread. When's the last time you had lunch with your upline? When's the last time you paid for the lunch for your upline? It's an exchange principle. Remember, always buy for your upline, so your downline buy for you. Right. Y'all with me? Yeah. Super important. These are just principles of the business. So when's the last time you did that? You should constantly be in communication with your upline. It's so critical. Number 3, I want to talk to you about financial independence. I think it's a topic that probably resonates with all of us. Becoming financially independent is over the top, really good, more than you think. With the right belief and work ethic, it is possible. You, my friend, will become financially independent with the right belief and work ethic. Write those 2 things down. With the right belief and the right work ethic, you will become financially independent. So guess what? Every single day in this business, I just believe it. And think about it. If your belief level's not there, what's keeping you from growing your belief? Question some of the things you don't believe, so therefore you get the answer. Is it clear that WFG, Transamerica, Aegon is here to stay for the next 100 years? Is that clear to you? Yeah. Okay, so some of you guys don't believe because of, well, I don't know if the company's really solid. I don't know. Well, get that out of the way. So WFG is here to stay for a long time, probably your lifetime in mind. So if you don't believe in this, don't make it because you don't believe this company is solid and for real will have the ability to stay a long time. So WFG, Transamerica, Aegon is a solid company, so remove that. Another reason you may not believe is because you don't know that these life insurance companies will actually pay a death claim when it's time for them to pay a death claim. And let me just tell you that I've been doing this 18 years. I am not aware of any claim that this company was supposed to pay completely outright beyond the 2-year contestability period. Some of you guys already questioned that. This company will pay. Every life insurance company for the first 2 years reserves the right to challenge the validity of that death claim. I hope all of you guys understand that. For the first 2 years, the insurance company can look at the claim to make sure it's legit, to make sure it wasn't fraudulent, to make sure they didn't miss anything. Underwriters and executives of life insurance companies are subject to mistake, and they cover themselves for those first 2 years so that if a client passes away, they do not pay the death claim within the first 2 years. If they can find that there was a mistake there, or there was some sort of misrepresentation. You guys can see this right here. Bob, coming up here for a little bit. Read the number there.
$499,971.49.
So I'm just a few dollars shy of $500,000. I just took $500,000 out of my checking account and I'm reinvesting it back into what's called WFG Reinsurance. So I'm investing in every single policy that every single licensed associate throughout Rural Financial Group is placing with Transamerica because of my level in the company that says you get to buy into the profitability of all the life insurance policies that we put on the books. And as those policies mature, life insurance is heavily profitable. And I've known people who become nearly billionaires by their commitment into this. So last week, there was roughly $750,000 of new money that I invested into some of these opportunities.